Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brennan again, outside the gym, back in the car. I will do more videos showing meals pre-workout as well. You guys seem to like that from the other day, but how could you really pass up this massive sunlight thing going on in the fishbowl, as you guys have dubbed it? So I'm about to go in and do front squats, but also one of the things I picked up on my way from the mailbox on my way to the gym were these half-pound plates. Now I put these on Instagram as well. They're from Iron Bull Strength. I'll be doing a review on these. I think they sent me like 4 pounds worth, so you can really play around and get pretty creative with them. I guess that's one of the perks of having a YouTube channel. People send you free shit and it gives me content to make. So let's get to working out and we'll check you guys soon. Alright, so day 3 on this program I'm crafting, and I'm having it start off with front squats. I really like this aspect of BBSM, and one of the things I'm doing a little bit different as far as what I want to do with this, as the first 2 days I really relied on percentages. Today I really want to go off of feel, only because I'm kind of sore. I'm not going to lie, my hamstrings and my quads are very tight. So the goal today was to work up to a heavy set of 5 on front squats. You're seeing my first set here of 230 pounds. Now the second set we bumped the weight up by an additional 50, so we went to 280. Again, the goal was to get 5 reps here. And one of the things I'm also trying to do is not wear a belt, and I really got this from the Cube method and doing a lot of beltless training, trying to strengthen my core. So again, trying to integrate other aspects of these programs that I've enjoyed over the past, and things went pretty well and we were able to get 5 reps here. Now you can notice also I'm using a cross grip. I'm going to show you in a second how I like to set up, as a lot of people ask that question. But let's move on to the last working set of front squats, which is going to be done at 320 pounds. Now for this, you got to kind of pull a little over the top and put the hat backwards because you know it's about to get serious. But 320 for 5 reps, and this goes okay. This is a little bit tough for me, but that's all right, because again, the way you want to set this up is based off of feel, and any particular day the weights might vary a little bit. Although the next time I do front squats, my goal is going to be able to increase this by like 5 pounds or so, or maybe even less. As you saw in that intro trailer that I got those half-pound plates, I could bump this up to 321 pounds, which would be simply awesome and on the gain train, if you will. So this set went fairly well. I was happy with my depth, happy with the fact that the bar didn't really seem to be sliding. Hadn't done front squats in a while. Now what I want to show you really quick is just how I set up. A lot of people ask. So what I like to do is get my chest centered in the bar, put one arm under and really get the bar right behind my front delt, and do so with the other arm, get my elbows up and simply cross. Now I play around with which arm I cross over which, depending on which feels more stable, but the real key here is you want to make sure your elbows are up. And I actually like to keep my head back a little bit, because if I find my head is too far forward, that tends to make the bar slip, not to mention it chokes my ass out. So the next thing we moved on to was deficit stiff-legged deadlifts, and my goal here was to do 3 sets of 8 reps, working up to a heavy set of 8. So I started here with 320 pounds, also going beltless on this one. Now one of the things you probably notice is my back is slightly rounded, and the fact that if you're doing stiff-legged deadlifts, not to mention at a deficit, you are going to have this a little bit. So it's really important that you really try to keep the bar close to your legs so you're not out in front of yourself, and just really kind of pull through your core and utilize your glutes and your hips as well. Second set we moved on to 370 pounds. So for this, you'll probably notice too, I'm using a double overhand grip. I hadn't actually put on any chalk at this point, but after this set I felt like my grip was giving just a little bit. Not to mention, again, not using my belt on these, really trying to build up that core and stability. This was a really tough set, and I really debated how much heavier I should go on the last one. But knowing that I've done this in the past and knowing that I've been able to do over 400 pounds, I kind of had it in my mind that I wanted to do that. So that's exactly what I was going to attempt. Now again, you know this last set's getting serious because the hat goes backwards, the belt comes on, and I also have the nice head movement from the guy doing sit-ups on the glute ham raise coming in. So really get a perception of depth here. But this set was very tough. So 410 pounds, again, the goal was 8 reps. And although it looks fairly smooth in my opinion, I was really struggling this, not only with grip, but just overall pulling it up. So it was a struggle, but it went up, and this just means next week I'm going to have to try to up the weight if possible. So that should definitely be interesting. Just to note here, I'm using a 45-pound bumper plate. Now the way I set this program up, I'm going to say I want to pull from a 3 to 4 inch deficit. This bumper plate is just over 3 inches, if you're wondering. From here, we moved on to bent over barbell rows, and the grip I'm using is fairly wide. I'm using the same width grip that I use for bench press, so again, fairly wide here. And I usually bend over at around a 45-degree angle. I find I get the best lat activation with this. The goal here was to do 3 sets of 8, and I did that with 230 pounds. I kept the weight static in this case. I also did a couple sets of hanging leg raises, but didn't film that one because it's a body weight exercise, and let's be honest, who really cares about that? So as always, appreciate you watching. In the meantime, stay big.